Hey guys, so as you can see, I am in the bed, just kind of relaxing. Nothing's wrong. I'm not ill, not sick or anything like that. I'm just in chill mode. But today I'm going to give some insight. So there was a question about a young lady that apparently came back as supposedly she's a seraphim. I'm sorry. Yeah, seraphim. Rachel Corpus. She did an interview with Jeff Mara of the podcast, I believe that is. And I was asked about the pod, so I'm going to answer the question about that real quick. I believe that she believes in what she's saying. However, I don't believe or trust in any seraphim, cherubim, archangel. I don't trust any of them. None of them. As a matter of fact, when I come out of my body, I don't trust anybody at all. And I strongly suggest that anybody that has an out-of-body experience, don't trust anyone. Why? Well, the thing about it is they like to hook what's called energetic hooks within you, okay? Within your template. What's a template? Well, essentially it's the pattern in which our physical bodies are made so that when we come from wherever, we can enter these bodies and it'll have placement and room for our energetic structure, all right? In other words, in my template, I'm a source seed, which means I have a spark in my chest. And that's it. I don't have chakras. Some people have chakras. In their template, they have it's automatically, it's already within them. Those, the root and the crown and the sacral and the whatevers. Okay? That means that their spark frequency is essentially split. Mine, as a source seed, it's unrefracted. In other words, it's not split. So I'll just have one spark in my chest. And I'm able to see that spark when I come out of my body. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to just to use chakras back in the day. And then I realized when I came out of my body, they were nowhere to be found in the first place. But that's my template was made such that it would have a biological form that would allow me to have just a simple source seed, source spark in the chest. Again, others have chakras, which means that they are essentially plugged into the construct. This is how it works. Underneath those chakras, of course, there's still a spark, but it's an overlay. It's their energy, their spark core has been refracted or split into those 7 different colors, like the colors of the rainbow. And it's basically stepping down that energy so that it can be usable by, well, the construct, the bureaucracy, the archons. People with chakras, they have a much easier time going through the different layers of, out of the body. You can go from level 1 to level 5 in an instant. It's just easier because they are able, it's essentially telling the system that particular person is safe to travel within the realms, the different realms, okay? Me, however, I have a much more difficult time trying to figure out where to go, when to go, how to go, and what, so on and so forth. You'll probably see some people online talking about, oh, I just use my chakra to do this, to do that, and to travel and whatnot. Well, again, that means that they are automatically plugged into the construct, which makes it, yes, it makes it easier for them to travel, but it certainly makes it more difficult to exit this place. And it makes them a lot more susceptible to the tricks that they try to play on the other side, which we're going to talk about today. For me, with the source seed, the spark essentially illuminates it all. Why am I able to see on the other side? Because my spark illuminates it all. I can see the pipes. I can see the loose farms. The machines that's making the food, the stuff that's covered up, essentially, because most people are coming out with just their chakra light. It's a weaker form. It splits that light so that most people are not able to see that. So there are some people that try to get rid of them chakras and, whatnot. Hey, you do you. But the way to do it would simply be just don't use the chakras at all. And what happens is it will compress. All of those ports for that light is going to compress down. Where do I get this information from? The Gnostic texts. Forgive me because I'm holding my phone. It's a little shaky. All right. I've started to read the Gnostic texts. Why? Because most, if not all, of my out-of-body experiences line up damn near 100% with them. Something that was written over 2,000 years ago lines up. So it would behoove me to do more studying with those texts to see what's going on. They talk about the sparks and the archons and all of these things. The Apocryphon or Apocrypha, the group of 52 or so books or so. So the thing that we have to understand when you come out of the body, and again, I said this before, don't trust a soul. Don't trust anyone but you. Trust within yourself. How do you do that? Well, when you come out of the body, you're going to actually notice that there is a change. There's going to be a little bit of a difference within you. You'll know some things like just innately. You may not know who is for you or who is against you outside of the body, but your inner self will do certain things to help that situation. For example, in my case, it blocked a memory, a thought. When that lady asked me for my email address, higher self blocked all of my email addresses. I couldn't remember one. She needed an email address to hook me into the system because I have no hooks. Thank God. Or should I say, thank me. You feel me? I don't, you know what I'm saying? And so it would behoove each and every person, when you come out of the body, check to see whether or not you have chakras. But it does plug you directly into the construct. And I don't know, all of these people trying to go to heaven and all of this stuff. Heaven is a part of the construct. Angels are a part of the construct. Don't trust any of them. Especially not to tell you how to leave the construct. They're not going to tell you how to exit. They'll give you bits and pieces of information, messengers, and then that's it. When I came out of my body the last time, I've been doing some studying, y'all, on this. Why? I'm trying to figure out why is it, then how is it that they are able to trick people so easily in this construct? Well, the thing to remember is they don't have as much control over the 3D sections. It's way too compressed. The matter, the energy is too compressed down into matter, so they don't really have very much direct influence. However, they have influence over the templates, okay? So one out-of-body experience I had is, this was, I believe, 4 or 5 nights ago. Oh, well, early morning. You know, I usually do my out-of-body experiences between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So what happened is I was carried out of my body. And whoever this person, this guide was, she dropped me off in front of a house that looked peachy pink color, okay? I was thinking to myself, ooh, not a bad looking place. I can do, I think I can just go ahead and try to explore a little bit, because it was a really nice neighborhood. There was a carport and everything. And the house that the house I was in front of was quaint, and it was pretty. So I decided there was also a fence there. I decided I was gonna cross over the fence. And just before I was able to do that, a lady comes out of the house, that house that I was in front of. And she looked exactly like a person that I knew from school, from high school. Now, the thing is, the bureaucracy knows who you know. They can scan you and tell look at your memories and all of that stuff to see all the people that you have come in contact with. Now, they do a piss poor job of choosing people that you have any kind of connection with, obviously. All right. But anywho, so they use that. They'll scan your memories and immediately come up with a bot that can portray the face and the features of people that you know, to garner some sort of trust first, so that way they can start doing those energetic hooks. So anyway, she calls me, comes to the house, opens the door. She gives me a hug and everything. She tells me, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, and I noticed that when she hugged my neck was it became a bit stiff. I couldn't move it as well. And then when she let go, it turned to normal. So when I looked that up, that was essentially, it was a scan. Found out that was a scan. So she scanned my person, I guess. Somehow, I had not just clothes, but I had on a book bag and some other things too. I don't know what my higher self does. But I was equipped with stuff, okay? So anyways, so she brings me inside the house and she says, okay, I'm going to need your phone. And just like that, pretty just haphazardly, I'm going to need your phone. And I look at her and I'm like, okay. So I started to take off my book sack, that little book bag that I had. And just before I started to go in my pockets, my ego self kicked in, and I was just kind of like, wait a minute, because I was lucid and I was aware. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't ask to be here. You had a guy drag me all the way over here, and you need my phone. Nope. I told her, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to keep my phone. And at that very moment, I grew in stature. And usually if you grow, that's a defensive and somewhat of an offensive mechanism that is used by the soul, okay? It can be used as intimidation as well. It puts you in a dominant position. Now, because she was a bot, she couldn't grow or shrink, but her face looked like the moment I said no, she was like, how dare, did he, how, I would imagine she was using some sort of an energetic frequency, and most people that she asks for their phones or whatever for whatever they have, they readily give them to her. Nope. But I said nope. Now, Why is that important? Because if I had given her my phone, it would have given her direct access to parts of myself. Think of what's in a phone. Contacts. I have my videos. I have emails, bank statements. I mean, everything is in my phone. She could have done some things to try and manipulate things from the template, because my phone was a template even in that area. And giving her anything is essentially a contract, people. There goes the contract if I had given it to her. And there goes an energetic hook where she could have hooked into my energetic field and started to either drain my energy or affect things and manipulate things in the 3D. So I guess I passed the test on that one. Because usually if I don't pass the test, my higher self, or you can call it inner self, whatever you want to call it, it'll send me right back to my body. Or make me forget something. It's as a protection mechanism, okay? Look out for, because you are what you can trust in the out-of-body state. I couldn't trust her. Even the guy. Not that she did anything. It was a black female with frizzy hair, kind of curly hair down to her shoulders. She was holding some kind of mobile phone or something. When she dropped me off, she went on about her business, and I waved and she waved. But I didn't know her. She didn't. Obviously, she probably didn't know me either. But I can't trust her. She brought me in front of this bot woman. So anywho, so they can and almost immediately, the moment you phase into the out-of-body state, they can immediately have a bot that looks just like somebody that you know. As a matter of fact, during Focus 23, I was listening to Gateway, the Monroe Institute's Wave 7. That particular set of recordings, it's supposed to allow you to go to Focus 23. It teaches you how to do Focus 23 and to visit that area through 27. So 23 through 27. So I was listening to it, and I actually put the Gateway Wave 7 on so that I could listen to them all at once, so that there were no pauses in between. And so it just so happens that by the time I got to the second video, or should I say the second recording of Focus 23, I was out of my body. And it just so happens that I see the face of my mom. Now she's just kind of standing over me, kind of like this, and I could see her face. They made her appear right above me. Now, the thing about Focus 23 is it's damn near two-dimensional, okay? Literally, they're flat. People are flat in that area, and it just so happens that it looked flat to me. Now, according to what it said, the guy that was in my ear, the guided meditation for that area, he said, don't try to help people and all of that. You can just try to reach out to a guide or something to try to help them out of that section. These people are in some serious loops, low energy, very low energy. They don't even have a 3D form. You feel me? They flat like and they look kind of like these, those blocks that they have, the kindergarten blocks in kindergarten. So they're about maybe a couple of centimeters thick, about an inch or so thick. And they're very flexible and they're soft, and you could put them together to form little boxes like a puzzle, and you could form a box and all that kind of stuff. Well, whatever that material is, it was flat like that. Now, I can't quite say it was complete 2D, but They were flat. My mama was flat. And she looked up and I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was dark. The houses in that area were quite large though. But it was, all I saw was a silhouette of some of the houses in the distance. And my eyes, I could see wherever I looked, it was like a flashlight because it was dark. So as a source seed, sometimes in areas of very, very low energy and light, my eyes will show, it'll appear as flashlights, as light. That's the source energy coming from within. And it literally illuminates the area. Okay? So all of my source seeds out there, that's don't be scared of that. That's just how you are. That's how we made, okay? But I saw this lion go by, and right behind him, it looked like a face of a zombie. Kind of looked like Minecraft-ish. Like it was, y'all, flat. So then all of a sudden, so the lion and the little zombie thing, now they walking kind of like this. They walk into this very large house. I'm just kind of looking like, what the hell's going on? It looked damn creepy to me. Now I wasn't scared, but I was kind of like, it was creepy. I can't lie. I've learned how to hone in on my feelings and whatnot. So if I am scared or something, I know how to kind of contain it within. So it's not leaking out, because that's what they look for. They like to feed off of fear and any type of energy that's less than source, unrefracted source energy. So I'm looking at them. They go in the house, and then my mom makes a beeline for a well. Now she was called herself trying to move fast. Now, because you can't really move fast like this, like, you know, she was moving like that. Well, she was doing like cartwheels. She did cartwheels. I guess that's how you run in the flat, damn near two-dimensional space of Focus 23. You can do cartwheels, and you know, and you can be like a damn wheel. And she went down the well. Now, they figured, and this is just me, this is a hunch, they believed that I was going to follow her down the well. Because why not? That's my mother. And I'm supposed to be, you know, I love her. I don't want nothing to happen to her. Well, that is the case. That is true. But ain't nobody, damn it, nope, I will never follow her anywhere in the astral plane. She is way too religious. And I not in the astral plane. Bye. Do you, baby? So I just looked at her and I watched her ass go down that damn well, and it was what it was. Now, what would have happened had I gone down the well? Well, it would have caught me in an energetic loop. So anytime I come out of the body, I would most likely be energized, it sucked down there into that particular well and stuck until I was able to figure out how to get the hell up out of there. Now, I doubt it would have been able to contain me because, again, source light frequency, it's pretty powerful. But why go through all the BS when you don't have to? Nope, I'm not following you. So they know they can look and scan your frequency, your energy signature, okay? And then pick the people that you know out. But they don't have the wherewithal to figure out the nuances of the relationships. They obviously didn't realize me and my mama, I mean, we love each other and all, but no, but you feel me? They just pull anybody out there just to try to gain some sort of what they think it would be an emotional resonance with. No, but they got the wrong one. So you see what I'm saying? So they are not perfect or anything by any stretch of the imagination. They make serious mistakes. They can't read you from the sights of it from what I see. Now that was Focus 23. And it appeared flat. Now, as a matter of fact, what I ended up doing after my mom went down the well. So I figured, okay, well, maybe I can cast some light like I did previously in that out-of-body experience when I had that fight with with when I was casting all my light and whatnot. So I called myself trying to cast some light like this, and my hand looked flat. Look, it was like it was brown, but it was flat. Y'all, saying all that to say, they can gain energetic hooks only through a certain way. You have to give consent. Now, some people are thinking, well, if that's all that needs to happen, how is that even possible or true and all of that? It's called physics, all right? And in this case, metaphysics. Resonance. In other words, you have to have a frequency of energy that is comparable and to many cases in coherence with or flowing at the same rate, which means we have to be in agreement, because an agreement is an energetic system as well. It's all energy. Emotions are energy. You feel me? And if you say no, then you're not in agreement, which means that particular energy is not going to be in resonance, which means they can't hook into you. They just can't. Now, I'm breaking it down kind of, in as layman terms, if you, I don't know what you would call it, but, but that's essentially the gist of it all when it comes to that kind of thing. So yes, they need your consent for everything. And when they don't get your consent, then, and you try to come out of the body or whatnot, and sometimes we'll come out of the body and we're not lucid. So when we're in a non-lucid state, anything goes, y'all. It is possible that they can ask you for your name or ask you for something, and your consciousness will just give it sometimes. Those of you with chakras, I implore anybody, when you come out of the body, see what you look like. Do you see a spark? Do you see chakras? About 90+% of the people in this world, they're neither. They've been constantly have come back and over and over and over and over and over again, to where some of people's sparks are just laden with layers of energies, of compliance energies. So their spark is covered up mostly. And they are most of them are more the religious people, the people that just don't believe that any of this is true, the people that are kind of like asleep, if you will. A good 90% of them are like that, but their energy is being used to uphold this place. Only about 10, maybe 15% of the people, 10% or so of people are going to be what we would consider sparks, which would have you have a spark, but you have your chakras overlaid with chakra, which means those entities are plugged in to the system as well. And while it's easy to move through the astral, the moment they use that energy, like the emotional frequencies, you are much more affected by those. I would strongly suggest stop using them chakras so that the ports can close on their own. They'll close up, then you'll just simply have your spark. I simply don't have the overlay. My template doesn't provide for that, which is why I do what I do. I'm able to go into some of the, and that to me, that flat place, the depths of this construct. I'm immune, for the most part, to those emotions that they try to push on you. As a matter of fact, recall Mama Pam. Those of you, some of you haven't watched that video yet, well, go check it out. Why do I have issues with my soul guides or spirit guides, whatever it's called? Watch it. Because Mama Pam used a frequency on me to make me extremely emotional. I was like, Mama Pam. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why the hell am I crying, because it's not like I knew her like that. We went to dinner one night. She took me and my sister, and we went to her house and stayed over one day. We wasn't that damn close for me to be crying like that. But you better believe I certainly asked her, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know what the hell was going on, so they could tell automatically that usually emotional frequencies like that, when they use those, the soul becomes compliant. In other words, they just stop, they just do whatever they say do. Well, in my case, I asked the question, well, what the hell is going on? And she said, all things be revealed in due time. Of course, she didn't know the answers because it was a script. She was a bot. And artificial intelligence. That's what they use. Holographic that's what they use, y'all. To dupe us. To get over. And gain energetic hooks within us. And extract energy. To uphold this place, the matrix, as well as the areas above, including the heavens and all of that, the angel pretty wings and shit, all of that. I know it's a lot to think about. But those of you that are watching this, that this is becoming in resonance with, you'll likely have a soul spark as well. Y'all, when you come out of your body, check to see. So at least you'll know where you stand and you'll know where to go from here. Too many times we have all of these people that are coming out of their bodies and out of body experiences, and they're, oh, I saw this and I saw that and I went here and there, and they were able to go to different planets and all of this stuff, and they have chakras. They're plugged in. So while they think they're as spiritual as the day is long, they're plugged into the construct. I'm a threat to the system because I'm not plugged in. As a matter of fact, if I burn hot enough, I can do some damage. And so therefore, they try to get me plugged in as much as they possibly can. There's not much they can really do with a source seed. Even star seeds. Now, star seeds have a spark. I mean, we all souls have a spark in the middle of the chest. They're also running on a script as well. They've taken into their template is such that they've come from some star, some place, the Pleiades or whatever, but it's still a part of the construct. And half of them don't even realize it. And some of them are into the love and the light and all of this stuff. Most people don't realize it, though. And the reason they don't realize it is because they can't see it when they come out of their body. Why? Because they have all these chakras, or they've already fed into a script. They've already agreed to a certain type of script, template for their body. Before they even came here, they agreed to it. I'm in the process of reading those Gnostic texts. Y'all, do yourselves a favor. Start reading, y'all. Use artificial intelligence if you have to, Audible. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need to do, read it. I had no clue that all of this stuff that I've been going, all of this was in the Gnostic texts. Ooh, y'all, you tell me that it ain't true. Whew. And I'm a science teacher. I need the scientific method and whatnot. You got to prove to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe it. Like this pod chick, the lady with the pods, saying that we come from pods. Y'all, listen to me well. Do not believe anything that comes from someone who's proclaiming to be some sort of an angel that decided to incarnate as a human. First off, I have issues with angels to begin with. I just do. They're means to the end of you coming right back to earth. Now, if you want to come back, that's on you. But God damn it, everybody has to have a choice, and the game needs to be fair. Now, she, in so many words, and this isn't a review of what she said because she said a whole lot of stuff. I'm probably going to end up doing a review of everything that she said, and it is what it is. Okay. But just for now, because this isn't what this video is about. What it seems like to me is, because so many people are now turning away from the church and the old script of fear. If you don't believe, you're going to hell. And if you do, then you're going to go to heaven. And then, of course, those people end up going to heaven and whatnot. And then just to end up going right back, coming right back to earth. Because they didn't know, Because that script, people are not trying to go towards the light and all of that. So now there's another script. There's another story, another belief system for you to believe. That's what it is. It's a belief system. It's the newest one up there from what I've heard. So now when you die, you wake up in an area of where there are some pods, and you can determine whether or not you want to come out, go in, or leave, or go back to earth. And if you decide to go back to earth, they immediately remove your memories, or you have the ability to say you don't want to forget. Well, why they told her, as a matter of fact, they told her to come back to earth to tell everybody else that we need to be working together or some shit like that. Anybody that's telling you to come back to earth for any reason, I think there's something in it for them. Just my thoughts. As a matter of fact, most people, when it comes to NDEs, near death experiences, a lot of them don't know how to exit. Like they came back. They have pertinent information. But in order for something to tell me, like how to exit, that's a little, I trust yourself, y'all. Have enough courage within you to be able to trust in you when you come out of especially when you come out of the body. Don't give anybody any information. I know everybody's all excited about coming out of the body. That's wonderful. Come out, and that because you need to see. It ain't scary, don't get me wrong, and it's electronic, okay? So they're holograms, for God's sakes. or should I say, for goodness sakes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you are ever asked, and they're going to ask you politely, don't give up any information, because it allows them to hook into your system. Those of you with chakras, you're already hooked up, okay? Your light is already refracted, split. But it's not the end all be all. Simply stop using the chakras. Now, I don't know, I've heard about some people that have been able to supposedly remove their chakras. I don't know how that happens, because the template itself, their physical body's template, is made such that the chakras are already implanted. So I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe they could. I don't know anything about how to get it removed and if it's legit. But I do know, according to the Gnostic texts, that you can just simply stop using it. Just don't use them. Act like they don't exist. And pull all of your energy towards the center of your chest, the spark in your chest. Now, once you do that, does it mean that you will automatically then be immune to a lot of the stuff? Well, knowledge is power, y'all. The fact that you know what's going on at this point is something. You will still feel the emotions. I feel the emotions when they use the machines. I do. I'm just not compliant. I'm immune to the effects. They can't make me do anything. You're your own God. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go much further, because I feel like I've been talking a lot. But anyways, until next time, y'all, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed. You're coming from different channels, and I'm noticing that my video has just popped up in different places. Well, hey. All right. I'll do some more. I will probably talk a little bit more about this topic on another time. But for now, y'all, just kind of let this marinate a bit. Okay? Until next time, I love you all, and there's more to come.